The amazing story begins with a doctor conducting a bizarre experiment. The doctor was attempting to recreate a monster with the strength of 100 men, capable of killing anyone. He created this monster with the help of a dangerous demon named Dracula. Dracula contributed fully to the doctor's experiment to bring the monster to life. After some time, the doctor realized that his experiment was about to succeed and believed that his creation would help people. He was extremely happy. However, the villagers in his town suspected that the doctor was conducting an illegal experiment that could become dangerous for them in the future. Fearing this, all the villagers gathered and marched toward the doctor's mansion to kill him. The doctor, deeply engrossed in his experiment, was unaware of the approaching danger. For him, this was a lifelong dream. As the massive monster slowly began to awaken, Dracula declared that he would use it for his own purposes. Being an evil entity, Dracula intended to use the monster for nefarious deeds. The doctor opposed Dracula's plan, but Dracula was determined to do as he pleased. He grabbed the doctor and killed him by biting his throat. A while later, the enormous monster finally woke up. It had immense strength and a towering height. It remembered only one thing, that the doctor was its creator. Seeing its creator lifeless, the monster couldn't bear it. Heartbroken, it carried the doctor's dead body and took it to a windmill atop a hill. Meanwhile, the villagers had reached the location with torches in hand, searching for the doctor. However, they couldn't find him. One of Dracula's allies revealed to the villagers that the doctor was inside the windmill with the dangerous monster. Enraged, the villagers set the entire windmill on fire. The doctor had already died, but the monster, too, perished in the flames. The villagers had no idea that the monster was only acting under the doctor's guidance and never intended to harm anyone. Due to their misunderstanding, they unknowingly killed an innocent creature. In the end, Dracula was shown revealing his true form, with massive wings unfolding. Dracula, along with 3 women, his vampire wives, flew straight to the burning windmill. When they realized that the monster had perished in the fire, they were devastated. Dracula had important plans for the monster, but now, nothing could be changed. Why Dracula needed the monster's help would soon become clear. A year passed after this event. Now, we are introduced to a man named Van Helsing, a skilled hunter who tracked down and eliminated monsters and creatures. At this moment, Van Helsing had come to capture a monster. As soon as he stepped into a dark chamber, a massive creature attacked him. The number of such monsters was steadily increasing, making their extermination essential. Although Van Helsing was not as strong as these monsters, he was incredibly fast and carried specialized weapons to fight them. At first, the monster overpowered him, wreaking havoc and destroying everything in its path. However, Van Helsing bravely fought back, dealing significant damage and ultimately throwing the beast from a great height, killing it instantly. With his mission complete, he set off toward a nearby village. There, Van Helsing met a priest who worked for a secret organization dedicated to hunting and eliminating monsters and vampires. Van Helsing was also affiliated with this organization. The priest showed him a picture of a dangerous villain, Dracula. He explained that Dracula was wreaking havoc in Transylvania, causing countless deaths. Van Helsing's next mission was to travel to Transylvania and kill Dracula. However, the priest warned him that Dracula was the most dangerous foe yet and would not be easy to defeat. To gather more information, the priest told Van Helsing about a woman named Anna. She and her brother had been fighting to destroy Dracula, but they had not succeeded so far. The priest wanted Van Helsing to go to Transylvania and assist them in their mission. Anna and her entire family had always been enemies of Dracula's lineage, and they had dedicated their lives to stopping him once and for all. Van Helsing decided to take on the mission after much thought. He was determined to go to Transylvania and help Anna and her brother defeat Dracula once and for all. To do so, he began meticulously planning how to take down such a powerful and dangerous entity. As Van Helsing was preparing to leave for Transylvania, he encountered a young inventor, a junior member of his organization, who specialized in crafting various weapons useful for battle. When Van Helsing examined the weapons, he was astonished by their advanced designs. He selected the ones he found most useful and decided to take the junior inventor along on his journey, realizing that his intelligence and skills could be valuable in the fight against Dracula. Meanwhile, in a dense forest, Anna and her brother, Lee, were engaged in a fierce battle against a massive and ferocious werewolf. Both of them were skilled fighters, but the werewolf was incredibly fast and relentless in its attacks. It soon became clear that even together, they struggled to overpower the beast. At one point, the werewolf lunged at Anna, ready to strike a fatal blow. However, Lee managed to push her out of the way just in time. In the process, he wounded the werewolf, but the creature retaliated, grabbing Lee and pulling him into a deep body of water. Neither of them resurfaced, leading Anna to believe that her brother had perished. Overwhelmed with grief, she broke down in tears. Shortly after, Van Helsing and his junior companion arrived in Transylvania. However, instead of a warm welcome, the villagers reacted with suspicion and unease, seemingly aware of Van Helsing's profession and the kind of work he did. Suddenly, Dracula's 3 deadly wives appeared, soaring through the sky as they launched a terrifying attack. Their primary target was Anna, as they needed her blood for their sinister plans. The vampire bride spread fear among the villagers, attempting to capture Anna. She fought back bravely, but she was outnumbered and overpowered. Realizing that Anna needed help, Van Helsing jumped into the fray. Using his crossbow, he attacked the vampire brides, engaging in a fierce battle. At first, the 3 powerful creatures, with their ability to fly, continued their rampage, killing people mercilessly. However, Van Helsing managed to take down one of the vampire brides, killing her on the spot. Shocked and frightened by his unexpected strength and skill, the remaining 2 brides abandoned their attack. They left Anna behind and quickly fled, retreating into the night. By now, the entire village knew that a monster hunter named Van Helsing had arrived, and wherever he went, trouble was sure to follow. Van Helsing approached Anna, but she was suspicious of him. She insisted that she would kill Dracula on her own, refusing to accept any help. Van Helsing, however, knew that if Anna confronted Dracula in her current state, she would not survive. Without wasting time, he used a special device to render her unconscious. A while later, Anna woke up inside her house, only to find a terrifying werewolf standing before her. Panicked, she fought to escape. But then, the shocking truth was revealed: the werewolf was none other than her brother, Lee. During their last battle with the werewolf in the forest, Lee had been bitten. And as per the cursed transformation, anyone bitten by a werewolf eventually turns into one. Lee slowly shifted back into his human form and explained to Anna that he had discovered Dracula's horrifying secret. He warned her that something unimaginably dangerous was about to happen, something beyond their worst fears. Soon, Van Helsing arrived and immediately attacked the werewolf. But since Lee was still under Dracula's control, he transformed once again and fled. Van Helsing and Anna pursued him, tracking him straight to Dracula's hidden lair. At this location, Dracula had constructed enormous machines and was storing countless strange eggs. This confirmed Lee's warning: Dracula was creating an army. Each egg would hatch a creature similar to Dracula himself, and with them, he planned to take over the world. To accelerate the growth of these monstrous offspring, Dracula needed energy. He was using Lee as a power source, extracting his life force to charge the incubation process. As Van Helsing and Anna reached the scene, they witnessed the horrifying sight: some of the eggs had already hatched, and newborn vampire creatures were flying toward the village, ready to unleash terror upon the people. The situation was becoming increasingly dire. Van Helsing quickly engaged in battle, killing the monstrous offspring as they emerged. However, at that moment, the real Dracula appeared, confronting him directly. The 2 warriors clashed fiercely, testing each other's strength. Despite his formidable skills, Van Helsing knew Dracula's power was overwhelming. Understanding that they needed a better strategy, he grabbed Anna and retreated from the battlefield, determined to find another way to stop Dracula once and for all. Here, Dracula had extracted Lee's power, but it was not enough. He had many eggs, and for that, he needed a massive amount of energy. After a while, all the machines broke down completely, and his entire plan fell apart. The small creatures that had already hatched from the eggs also died. Dracula was furious about this and needed to find a way to bring his children to life. He started searching for a high amount of energy to accomplish this. Meanwhile, Van was taking Anna to a safe place, and they all arrived at the windmill. This was the same windmill where the giant monster had been burned years ago. Van found this place safe, so he took Anna inside. However, they soon discovered that the monster that was supposedly burned alive years ago was still alive. Although the monster was in terrible condition, it did not want to harm anyone. When the monster saw Van, it started pleading with them, saying, "Please, end my life. If Dracula finds out that I'm alive, he will use my powers for his benefit." Dracula wanted to absorb the monster's energy to revive all his children, but the monster did not want this to happen at any cost. After observing all these things, Van realized that this monster was not entirely evil. It did not fight with the intention of harming others. For this reason, Van decided not to kill the monster. A deep sorrow was visible on the monster's face because Dracula had already taken the life of its godfather. After the doctor's death, the monster had been hiding in this place. However, at that moment, they realized that Lee, Anna's brother, had overheard everything. At that time, Lee was still under Dracula's control, so he was following his orders. Van tried to stop the werewolf, but Lee had already gone to Dracula. Lee revealed to Dracula that the monster was still alive and that Dracula could use its power to revive all his eggs. Dracula was delighted to hear this, but Lee set a condition before him. He asked Dracula to turn him back into a human once his mission was complete. Dracula agreed at that moment, but whether he would keep his word or betray Lee later was uncertain. For now, Dracula sent Lee away to carry out his plan. To capture the monster, Anna felt that it could bring a lot of danger. She even moved forward to kill it, but Van stopped her. Van assured her that he knew a safe place where the monster would be completely secure and where Dracula would never be able to reach. Van and Anna then set out with the monster to take it to that safe place. As they entered a forested region, two of Dracula's wives attacked them. They were trying to capture the monster and take it away. However, Van fought them off and managed to protect the monster. He had anticipated this attack beforehand and had already prepared a backup plan. Van quickly moved to another horse carriage, while in the previous carriage, he had placed multiple bombs. The explosion killed one of Dracula's flying wives. Van and Anna thought they were finally safe, but suddenly, Lee, the werewolf, appeared in front of them. Without wasting any time, he launched an attack on both of them, trying to kill them. By now, Van was completely fed up with Lee's interference. Finally, he fired a shot at Lee, gravely injuring him. It seemed like Lee could barely even walk after that. It appeared that Van had taken full responsibility for protecting the monster, as he kept moving forward with it. However, Dracula's third wife had figured out Van's plan. Instead of trying to capture the monster, she abducted Anna and took her away. She gave Van a clear ultimatum: if he wanted Anna back, he would have to hand over the monster to them. Van thought about it for a long time and eventually agreed to the deal. Dracula's wife provided a location where Van was supposed to bring the monster. This location was a massive hall where Dracula was celebrating with Anna. Van, along with his junior, arrived there, but he had already hidden the monster in a secure place. His goal was to infiltrate the celebration as soon as possible, rescue Anna, and escape. However, when he looked down, he saw that Dracula's men had already discovered the monster and captured it, bringing it to Dracula's castle. Even though Van had hidden the monster well, Dracula's followers had managed to track it down. Van could not let this happen, so he attempted to stop them. But here, another shocking revelation came to light. While fighting Lee, the werewolf, Lee had bitten Van. This meant that Van himself would soon transform into a werewolf. The symptoms of this transformation had already started appearing in his body. However, since the full moon night had not yet arrived, he had not completely turned into a werewolf. Anna took care of Van and brought him back to her castle. Anna showed Van a map and explained how her ancestors had tried to reach Dracula. When Van looked at the map, he noticed that a lower section was missing. Suddenly, he remembered a letter given to him by the press. It was the missing part of the map. As soon as he placed it in position, a portal opened within the map, revealing a way to travel directly to Dracula's castle. The three of them used the portal and arrived at the castle. Their first move was to attack and kill Dracula's assistant. Then, they proceeded to rescue the monster. They soon discovered Dracula's true plan. He wanted to kill the monster and extract its energy to give life to his many offspring. Van couldn't stand by and watch this happen, so he furiously charged in to stop Dracula. The monster was being sealed in ice and transported upwards, but before that, it spoke to Van. The monster revealed a crucial secret: the only cure for Van's transformation from a werewolf back into a human was in Dracula's possession. Dracula had created a special red-colored serum. If Van injected it into his body, he would not turn into a werewolf. Dracula had kept this serum for one reason: only a werewolf could kill him. So, if any werewolf ever tried to attack him, he would use the serum to turn them back into a human, making them powerless against him. Now, Van had to find that serum at any cost. Anna and Junior set off to retrieve the serum, while Van focused on rescuing the monster. After an intense search, Anna and Junior finally found the serum. However, Dracula's minions trapped them inside a chamber. That's when Dracula's third wife entered the scene. She viciously attacked them, trying to stop them from escaping. Anna and Junior did their best to dodge her attacks. Since they had the serum in their possession, Dracula's wife was determined not to let them leave. A fierce battle broke out, turning the entire place into a war zone. Meanwhile, Dracula activated all his advanced machines to begin extracting energy from the monster. While Dracula was busy overseeing the process with his minions, Van arrived and attempted to free the monster. However, before he could act, Dracula sensed his presence. Using his full power, Dracula rushed toward Van and brutally attacked him. The monster, still trapped, was being electrocuted as part of Dracula's experiment. However, it began to struggle, shaking violently in its place. Suddenly, the monster lost control and fell from a great height, plummeting straight down toward the ground. Just as Dracula's third wife was about to kill Anna, the massive monster fell directly onto her, crushing her instantly. With that, all three of Dracula's wives were dead. There was no one left to serve him. The monster revealed to Anna that Dracula was preparing to use his full power to kill Van. They needed to save him as soon as possible. That night was a full moon, and as soon as it rose high in the sky, Van fully transformed into a werewolf. He became so powerful and enormous that even Dracula felt a twinge of fear. Realizing he couldn't fight Van in his human form, Dracula unleashed his true form, massive wings unfolded, and he transformed into a terrifying creature. Then began a fierce battle between the two. At times, Van overpowered Dracula, while at other moments, Dracula struck back with brutal force. Eventually, Dracula realized that Van was proving too strong for him, so he tried to escape by flying away. But Van, now at the peak of his werewolf strength, wasn't about to let that happen. The monster had already told them that only a werewolf could kill Dracula, and now Van was proving it to be true. Dracula, growing desperate, rushed to retrieve the red serum, the only thing that could turn Van back into a human and make him vulnerable. But when he got there, the serum was gone. Panic set in for Dracula. He had created that serum for this exact situation. If he continued fighting the werewolf in this state, Van would eventually kill him. Van's speed had become terrifyingly fast. He dodged all of Dracula's attacks and struck back with even greater force. Their fight reached its climax. Finally, Van, the werewolf, sank his teeth deep into Dracula's neck, delivering a fatal bite. Dracula thrashed in agony, gasping and writhing, but it was over. Dracula was dead. However, Van had lost control. Still in his werewolf form, he rampaged wildly, unaware of what was happening around him. Anna arrived, holding the red serum. If she could inject it into Van's body, he would revert back to his human form. Without hesitation, she approached him. But Van, still a beast, saw her as a threat. He didn't recognize her, his instincts told him she was attacking. Before she could react, he grabbed her and slammed her onto the ground. But in that final moment, just before her life slipped away, Anna managed to inject the serum into Van's body. The effect was immediate. The monstrous werewolf began to shrink, his claws retracting, his fur disappearing. The full moon was also fading, signaling that the transformation would not happen again. Van was human once more, forever. When Van regained consciousness and realized that Anna had died because of him, he broke down in tears. He was overwhelmed with guilt, knowing that his loss of control and recklessness had led to Anna's death. In a short period of time, Van had developed feelings for Anna. He had even thought that after defeating Dracula, he would propose to her and spend his life with her. But fate had something else in store for him. Now, there was nothing Van could do to change what had already happened. So, he decided to give Anna a proper funeral to ensure her soul could rest in peace. He performed all the rituals with deep respect, but his heart was heavy with sorrow. As Van turned away after Anna's funeral, he noticed something unusual in the sky. The clouds were moving in a way that seemed almost intentional. Within those clouds, Anna's face appeared. She looked happy. Van also noticed that she was with her mother and father, smiling as she embraced her family in heaven. Seeing this, Van stopped blaming himself. He accepted that some things are destined to happen and cannot be changed. But he made a firm decision: he would never wish harm upon anyone. Instead, he would dedicate himself to helping people, hoping that one day, his guilt would fade away. It felt as if Anna was listening to his thoughts from heaven. Seeing her at peace brought a sense of relief to Van. And with that, the story comes to an end.